Hello, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Welcome to my channel, Lovely Moments Creating. If you are new here, consider joining the family by clicking that subscribe button. And remember that notification bell so you can be reminded every time I upload a video. My name is Jenny, and on this channel, I create budget-friendly home decor that's easy to do. So if you want to see some of my creations, keep watching. Hello again, my friends, and thank you so much for tuning in and watching another one of my videos. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some simple DIYs, and for the first one I have two of these wood rings from Hobby Lobby. The smaller one, original price was $1.99, but I paid 99 cents for that one. And the larger one, this price is $3.99, but I paid $1.99. I also have some succulents and some greenery from Hobby Lobby, and all of these were 99 cents a piece. I also have some of these dowels from the Dollar Tree, and these are the smaller ones, and I am going to be using 8 of these. I also have some of this jute cord, and I have this larger jute, and I got this big roll here from Hobby Lobby. I'm also going to be using some Waverly white chalk paint. What I'm going to do is just cut these dowels. You can actually use some snippets or some scissors, but I just had my saw handy, and I'm just cutting these down about 1/2 inch. I just needed them to be a little shorter than they were. So I'm just making sure that they all are the same size. So I'm just marking them with my pencil, and then I'm cutting them down. Once I get all of these cut down, what I'm going to do is take that jute cord, and I am going to attach some hot glue right to the top of the dowel, and then I'm going to attach the cord. And what I'm basically doing is just covering each one of these dowels with the jute cord. I'm just going to add some hot glue, wrap it, and I'm just going to continue rolling the dowel until it's completely covered. And what I'll do is add some hot glue here and there just to make things secure. So I'm just going to roll it for a while, and then I'll add some hot glue here and there. And then I'm just going to add some hot glue to make sure that everything is tacked down, and then I'll just clip it off, and I'm just going to repeat that step until I have 8 of these dowels covered. This DIY was really simple, but I think it came out really cute. And so what I am creating is a decorative wheel to style on the wall. And so I'm just going to continue getting these wrapped. And so now that I have all of them covered, the next thing I'm going to do is paint these two wood rings using that white chalk paint. And I'm just making sure I get the paint around the insides as well. And so after I get both of these rings painted, what I'm going to do is just line up how I want everything to be attached. And I'm just making sure that it's centered as best as I can get it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take those dowels that I wrapped in the jute cord, and I'm going to place those in a wheel form. And then I'm just going to take my hot glue to attach everything down. And then I'm going to secure it with the hot glue. And then once I get that complete, I'm just going to take that jute rope, and I am going to hot glue that around the outside of this ring. And I really do like how this is turning out. This is a really simple project, but I think it looks really high end, and I think it came out really pretty. So after I finish wrapping that and cutting it off and making sure that it blends, all I have to do now is just staple a piece of jute cord to the back so that I can have the option to hang it from that cord, or you could just hang it from the ring. And then now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull these greeneries apart. Once I pull the wire, the stems just come apart. And what I'm going to do is just bend these right through those dowels in the middle. And then I'm going to cut those succulents off of the picks, and I'm going to hot glue those around as well. And that's all I have to do is just add my greeneries and my succulents, and then this DIY will be complete. This DIY was really simple, but I think it turned out so pretty. And so I'm going to get started on the second project for today. And for that project, I'm going to be using some more of this jute cord. I am going to be using 2 of these little decor pieces that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. These were so cute, and you could use these for so many different projects. I'm going to be using 2 of these little wooden tags, and I received these from one of my sweet viewers, Darlene Grams. She sent me a really nice box of goodies. Thank you so much, Darlene. And I'm also going to be using 2 of these vases here from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to be using some of this rich black chalk paint. Now what I'm going to do first is paint these 2 decor pieces, and I'm just going to paint the top, the middle, and I'm going to paint the back, but I'm not going to paint the middle of the back, if that makes sense. But you'll see what I'm talking about once I get everything painted. And so I'm also going to paint 2 of those wooden tags using this color, and then just sand around them to bring back some of that natural color. And then what I'm going to do next is take that jute cord, and I am going to hot glue it around the center of these little decor pieces. And I'm only going to wrap it around the little piece in the middle. So I'm going to tack it down with some hot glue, and then just wrap it around until I cover the piece in the middle. And so after I get that completely covered, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Mod Podge over these decor pieces, because I notice as I brush up against it, the paint is chipping. So I'm going to touch up that paint, and then I'm going to take that Mod Podge and I'm just going to go over these to protect that paint. And then once I get that complete, I'm going to set that to the side so that it can dry. And then I am going to take those vases, and I am going to start attaching and wrapping the jute cord around the bottom. I'm not going to wrap this entire vase. I'm just going to wrap just the bottom of it. I'm going to go around it until I feel like I like the amount. And so I didn't want to cover these vases. I'm going to style these in my kitchen. You can actually use these vases for so many different things, but I'm going to style these in my kitchen, and so I still wanted to be able to see through these, so I didn't want to completely cover it, but I did want to add it to the bottom. And so what I'm doing is just going to do the same thing and add the same amount to the second vase. And so after I get that complete, what I'm going to do next is just string some of that jute cord through the holes of these little wooden tags. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie these tags around the neck of the vases. So once I get the cord through, what I'm going to do is just take the vase and I'm just going to tie a little simple knot. I'm going to cut off the cord and I'm going to tie 2 knots just to make sure that everything is nice and tight. And then I'm just going to cut off the hanging cord. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other vase. Now, as for these tags, I am going to take one of the little Dollar Tree chart markers to write on these. And you can write anything on these tags just for whatever you're using them for. But I am going to style these in my kitchen. And the little decor pieces are actually the little lids for these vases. They fit perfect, and I think that they are so cute. So I'm just going to add my lids, and then I'm going to add some items from the kitchen. I'm going to use them to hold my beans and my rice, and I wrote beans and rice on the tags, and I think these are so cute. I'm actually probably going to make 2 more of these because I want to create one to hold my 2 different kind of pastas that I use on a regular basis. I think these came out really cute. And so now I'm going to get started on the next DIY for today. And I'm going to be using 2 of these long succulent picks from Hobby Lobby. And these were $1.99. I'm going to be using this roll of rope. And what I'm basically doing is I'm going to create a little circle. And I'm just going to continue wrapping this rope in a circle until the circle just get to the size I want it. So I'm just going to be adding some hot glue as I wrap it around. For these 2 projects that I'm making, I am going to also be using some Waverly White chalk paint. So what I'm going to do is just continue wrapping this until I get the circle the size that I want it. And I'm just going to continue adding the hot glue to make sure that everything is nice and secured. And once I get to the desired size that I want, before I clip the cord, what I'm going to do is create a little loop first. And that loop is going to be how I hang this decor piece on the wall. So I'm just measuring the loop and then I cut it, and then I'm just going to use some hot glue to tack that down. And then now what I'm going to do is start creating my second decor piece, and I'm going to start off doing the same thing by adding the hot glue first, and then I'm going to start creating my circle. And then what I'm going to do is just make sure that I created the same size because I do want these to be equal. And then once I get this to that size, I'm going to do the same thing, create that loop. And then now that I have 2 of these, I'm now going to go in with that paint. And I am not going to cover these. I'm just going to distress these. I'm going to go in a little heavy though, and I'm just adding that color all around this circle, just giving it a nice distress look, but still leaving that natural color of the rope. And I'm going to do this to both of them. And after I get both of these painted, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those greenery picks and I am just going to cut that stem down. And then I'm just going to fold that stem a little bit, and I am going to hot glue it right to the center of this piece. And then after I hot glue it, I'm also going to take my staple gun and add 2 staples to make sure that this is secured. And then what I'm going to do is repeat that to the other one. And then after I get that hot glued and stapled down, these 2 decor pieces are complete. I did want these in a pair because I thought 2 would look great styled together. These may wear simple, but I think these turned out really cute, and I think they have a nice high-end look to them. And so now I'm going to get started on my last DIY for today. And what I'll be using is this pretty bunch of greenery. And I got this on clearance at Kirkland's. I believe I paid, it was less than $6 for that. I'm going to be using some jute cord. And this one is from the Dollar Tree and one of these Dollar Tree vases. What I'm going to do first is I cut a bunch of strips. And I am just going to glue these strips straight up and down on this vase. I'm just going to add some glue at the top and the bottom. I'm not going to add any glue along the sides of the cord. I'm just going to tack it down from the top and the bottom, and I'm going to continue this all the way around this vase. Another simple DIY, but I think this vase came out really pretty. So after I get all of these tacked down, the next thing I'm going to do is start wrapping it around the top. What I'm going to do first is take my scissors to cut off that hanging cord, and then I'm going to take some hot glue and attach it to the rim. And I'm going to hot glue that first row all the way around so that I can start just wrapping it easily around the rest of the vase. And I'm not going to cover the entire vase. I'm just going to cover it down just a little bit. So I'll just keep wrapping it until I get to the desired amount. As I'm wrapping it, I'm going to be adding some glue here and there just to make sure everything stays together. I am going to be a little messy. I don't want it to be too perfect. So once I get to the desired amount, what I'm going to do is just tack it down with some hot glue and cut off that cord. And then what I'm going to do now is do the same thing to the bottom, and I'm just going to attach it with some hot glue, and I'm just going to wrap it around until I get to the desired amount that I want on the bottom. And then I'm just going to continue wrapping this around until I get to the desired amount. And so what I'm going to do is then I'm going to just tack it down with some hot glue and cut off the excess. And then now all I have to do is just add in my greeneries, and this DIY is complete. I think this is so pretty. And didn't add anything for a filler because I like being able to see through this to see the stems, and I think this is so pretty. Thank you all so much for watching another one of my videos. I hope you enjoyed today's video just as much as I did. If so, please remember to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you here. Here is a second look of all of the DIYs that I created today. I also want to remind you that I did start a second channel, All Things Lovely. That channel will be linked in the description box below. On that channel, I do product reviews, hauls, self-care tips, and a lot of more fun things. So I am hoping you will check that channel out, pay me a visit, and spend just a little bit of your day with me. Until next time, my friends, stay safe so that I can see you in the next video.